I'm Brian Martin, and every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, I record this Facebook Live for the reading of my books. Today, I am reading from Eternity is the E in Love, Experiencing Meaning and Changing the World with the Power of Love. I write about love. That's what I do. And today, from this book, I'm going to be reading pages 113 through pages 118. And these are rituals today. This half of the book is about rituals. The idea about eternity is the E in love is that eternity in my mind is having significance and meaning in life now, not postponing it to some afterlife, but it is for now. Eternity is now. We've already started eternity. And I don't want to waste a moment of this life anticipating what life might be. I want to be using all my gifts and my skills and my talents and my tools to the fullest effect possible now, because this is when I can have a tremendous amount of influence in people's lives. So today, as I begin, I'll begin with the about ritual breathing, and this is on page 113 of the book. Are you ready? Here we go. This is a bit esoteric, and you may think that I'm a fanatic. Well, I am a fanatic. It doesn't matter if you think I am one or not. You may think I'm a fanatic, but I try to be aware of every breath. It is impossible, of course, but as often as I can return to my breathing, I do it. As you've read, I assign I am thankful or I'm grateful when I inhale, and I love you on the exhale. Did you know that many people do not know how to breathe? That's kind of funny, isn't it? They breathe from their chest rather than from their diaphragm. You can search for an authoritative source in how to breathe, but let me save you the effort. Breathe in and out through your nose from your diaphragm. When you see your belly rise, you are breathing from your diaphragm. There are many important reasons why this is so important. But now, pay more attention to your breathing. Make it a ritual by assigning meaning to it. Borrow my I am thankful and I love you. Assign meaning to every breath that you take. All right, we're going to move on there to rituals of major life events, and I'm going to be beginning with a funeral. Now, listen, this is not a religious a view. Funerals are very, very important features of life, and I'm going to explain how I give meaning, how I ritualize funerals. I've got lots of experience with that, and so I will share it with you. Funerals. I begin with funerals because I am an expert at this ritual, having conducted hundreds of them. Funerals are fabulous rituals when facilitated correctly. It leads to gratitude and commitment for the survivors to live a life that honors the dead. The ritual begins with the thought that being alive is an amazing miracle of astronomical proportions, and that each living person, is endowed with and develops gifts and skills and talents and tools. The purpose of my funerals is to give thanks for the opportunity to live, to discover and to honor the gifts and the skills and the talents and the tools of the deceased, and to inspire the living to honor the dead by living the best life they can with their remaining days. This is a much different approach than most funerals, where the purpose is to comfort the survivors in their grief and to prepare for the next life when we will all join the dead in heaven. This presupposes that the purpose of life is to prepare for heaven. This is misguided, and it is a self-centered approach to life. The focus here is on me getting to heaven. Real significance and meaning in life comes from acknowledging the miracle of being alive and using your gifts, your skills, your talents, and tools for the benefits of others while you can. This leads to the experience of actually helping other people, and the reward is the satisfaction of helping. What inspires this way of thinking about life and death is the Last Supper of Jesus that Jesus had with his followers, specifically the account in John chapter 13. There, Jesus is fully aware that his life is coming to an end. Let me ask you a question. If your life was coming to an end in a few hours, what would you say and do? You'd probably spend as much time possible with loved ones and share the most important message you could give them. That is exactly what Jesus did. Would you like to know the most important message that Jesus gave his followers? Let me break it down for you from John chapter 13, verses 33 through 35. Now here, let me give you a little caveat. This is not a religious or a theological explanation. This is just trying to understand what Jesus was doing and why he did it. And it is insightful to understand his thinking process, and it informs our lives. Here we go. First, Jesus set a somber scene for his loved ones. Quote, "Little children, I am with you only a little longer. You will look for me, but as I have told the others, so I now tell you, where I am going, you cannot go." All right, so he set a bit of a somber scene there. By the way, thanks for all the likes. It's really nice to see all those today. Next, Jesus delivers the most important message of his life. Maybe you thought you knew what it was, but I'm going to share with you the most important message in Jesus' life. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? This is it. I give you a new commandment. Okay, we'll stop right there. Please note that Jesus' message is so important that he calls it a new commandment. You may recall the 10 Commandments of the Hebrew Scriptures, the Old Testament. These were the guidelines given to the people of God by God through the messenger Moses. Excuse me for just a minute. Here. There were 10 commandments, but here Jesus, the Son of God, gives one commandment. Now, I just juxtapose the two. Moses, the messenger of God, Jesus, the Son of God, and that's just to show you the relationship and the importance of the one commandment. After you read Jesus' one commandment, you'll never forget it. Jesus does not recite the 10 Commandments with his followers. Instead, he gives them a new commandment. Now remember, this is at his last time he's going to be alive, and he's got this powerful message that he wants to give before he dies. Yes, Jesus' one commandment is on par with the 10 Commandments. In fact, the one commandment is superior to the 10 Commandments. This underscores the supreme importance of Jesus' last message. The message is a commandment. It is not a request. It is not a last wish or a desire. It is a commandment. And what is this one commandment that Jesus gives? And he's so determined to give to his followers? What is it? Okay, are you ready? All right, here it is. That you love one another. That's it. Bada bing, bada bang. Drop the mic. The mic. That's the one supreme commandment that Jesus gave his disciples at his just prior to his death. That is amazing. That's it. This one new commandment is just a few words. Yet here is the most important message that Jesus ever shared. This is no moral system of living, yet it colors and it dictates how humans ought to live together. This is amazing. This is the very center of the spiritual universe. Loving one another. Please allow this to set in. There is no greater message in the life of Jesus. None. It is a message which no superlative can describe. It is the greatest message ever given, and it's the simplest message ever given. Love one another. Jesus continues the message with instructions about how this love is to be expressed. Now, this is really important for our lives, this ritual that I'm speaking about. And here Jesus continues with the message, with instructions about how this love is to be expressed. All right, here we go. Here's the instructions. Just as I have loved you, you should love one another. You might expect that Jesus would provide a fuller, deeper theological explanation about the nature of love, right? Love is so complicated, right? After all, billions of words and millions of books have been written about love and how it is defined and what it means. But no, Jesus only says, do what I did to you. Strip away everything you ever heard or read about love. Return to the fundamental message. Get to the very essence of Jesus and do what Jesus did, and you will discover love and the meaning of life. I know that you are an astute student, and you are asking, how did Jesus love his followers? Well, you hear many things about what Jesus did, but ultimately you'll return to this. Jesus knew his unique identity. Jesus did not draw his identity from the prevailing culture, nor did he create a culture. Instead, he knew the miracle of his life. He saw himself as Son of God and Son of Man. The sentence that follows is the key to living a life of love. Listen to it. From his essential identity, Jesus used his endowed gifts, his developed gifts, his skills, and his talents, and his tools for the benefit of the world. That's it. There's no theology here. Jesus just gave us an example. He used his gifts, his skills, his talents, his tools for the benefit of the world. If we want meaning and significance in life, then we should do the same thing. Let me restate this for emphasis. Jesus showed his love by using his endowed and his acquired gifts, his skills, his talents, and his tools for the benefit of others. He consistently modeled this to his followers by the things that he said, the things that he did, and perhaps that's the most important thing, what he did. You can see it and you can read it in every account that Jesus had with people. The capstone of this most important message of Jesus' life follows. Here's the quote again. By this, everyone you will know that you are my disciples if you have love for one another. What differentiates Jesus' followers, listen to this, this is very important. What differentiates Jesus' followers is not a creed. It is not baptism. It is not culture. It is not who or what is the ultimate authority. It is not even the hope of eternal life. It has nothing to do with theology or philosophy or religion. What differentiates Jesus' followers is their love for one another, using their gifts, their skills, and their talents and their tools as Jesus did to the highest level possible. This is profound. Let me restate this even more clearly. What differentiates Jesus' followers is when they use their gifts, their skills, their talents, and their tools for the benefit of others. Followers of Jesus follow his one commandment and do what Jesus did. My short response to this amazing message is very simple. Go and do likewise, and you will find extreme meaning and significance for life. And I'm going to stop reading there. I'll be going into the funeral service next, because that's how I approach the funeral service. That's my mindset when I come to a funeral. Isn't that crazy? That's a lot different than anything that you've ever heard before. All right, so next time I'm going to pick up on page 118, and you can follow. I'll be here next Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, or you can watch us anytime you want on Facebook. I'm Brian Martin, and thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you have a blessed day. Bye-bye. Oh, let's try this again.